Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Monday morning to you. Hoping that you had a fantastic weekend. I also hope that you are poised and ready for a great week this upcoming week as we are in a brand new month, the month of May 2022. So, what's our goal? Our goal is to win the month. First, we need to win the week. First, you need to win the day. So I hope that all of you received the training calendar for the month of May and for June. Some things that you'll see on here. On Mondays, we have our Zoom calls that we're on right now, today and next week. For the next 3 weeks, we're going to look at sales success by Brian Tracy and then have some additional training in there, dialogues, working with clients, working the fundamentals, upgrading communication, and winning the day, which we're going to be going through today. And then on Tuesday and Thursday, Brian Buffini has an awesome podcast called The Good Life. And I mean, it's a good life. And I believe it's one of the best pieces of short form content. So we're getting maybe 20 to 25 minutes, 30 minutes max of content that you can get and you can apply to your business, to your life. And I believe that between Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday, you have a solid foundation. So you don't have to go and look and grab a lot of other content unless there's something that your association, NAR, another professional has available. Then I believe you will be able to get some valuable, relevant content to make you a better person first and then professional. We're continuing to roll this thing out, continuing to improve the brokerage, what's being offered, making it better for you all as agents. And as we said, today is really the first day that feel free to invite others to the team meeting for the first part, and then we'll kick them out, or we'll politely dismiss them, and then we'll go into some of our in-house, some of our family business. So what we're going to do today, we're actually going to start not with sales success from Brian Tracy, but we're going to start with the win the day formula. And for those of you who are familiar with Brian Buffini, or maybe you aren't as familiar, it's fairly simple. And the idea, we always talk about winning the month or winning the year, but how often do we consider or think about winning the day? And that's what this is right here. How do we win the day? Super simple. So it's not some hard, difficult task where I've got to move mountains. I've got to make heaven and earth shake. No, I need to make 5 check-in calls. That means I need to reach out to people in my database, 5 of them a day. Now, depending on your goals and the conversion ratios and all that, it might be a little bit different. That's why we want to make sure that our referral maker CRM is up to date, that we know how many calls we're supposed to make, how many notes we're supposed to do, and then adding people to our database. But to win the day means that we only need to make 5 calls a day. Hey, how are you doing? What's going on? Do you have any questions about the real estate? Have you heard about the interest rates increasing? What are your feelings about the real estate market? Do you know anyone that's looking to sell in this market to take advantage of the opportunity? How did your first 4 months of 2022 go? Are you looking forward to Mother's Day? Do you know that Miami Formula One is taking place on Mother's Day weekend? Are you going to go? Do you have an extra ticket? Any of that stuff, just so that we can check in. We want to be, if you all didn't hear, there's a lot to check in with people about this week, right? A lot happening over really the next month. How are the kids doing in school? Are they getting ready? Are you anxious for summer? Because before we know it, May is going to be gone. June is going to be here. Maybe if they have kids, is your kid going to the school dance or not? Or if they are retirees, maybe we're asking them, have you already made your travel plans for the summer? Are you going across the country? Are you going to be flying or driving your RV? Man, my mustache is not cooperating this morning. Any of those questions, that's how we win the day. 3 personal notes. So for me, my numbers only require 2. So these 2 notes today are going to go out. 2 personal notes, 3 personal notes, and then add 1 person to your database. Now, this is not always the day. Typically, I have to add 2 people to my database per week. But the goal is if you add quality people to your database, maybe you are unsure of where they are. But if you start asking questions and then you say, hey, well, let me add you in here, they start getting the phone calls, the notes. They might pop by with a gift. Before long, you're going to have nothing but quality people in your database. So that's how we're going to win the day. How do we win the week? Grab a coffee with a favorite client once a week, just 1 person. Host at least 1 business-to-business lunch, and then average at least 7 pop buys. Now, here's the thing where I am not doing 7 pop buys a week. I am choosing in a month how many pop buys I want to do. And I'm typically doing my pop buys over 2 or 3 days, maybe a Thursday, Friday, Saturday in the month, instead of trying to get it in. Because we know that by the time we make the phone calls, we write the note cards, we add a person to our database, we do our MLS searches, we come in and look for properties, we preview them, we show them, we send out professional opinions of value, have a buyer consultation or a marketing consultation. And you want me to go do a pop buy every day or 7 during the week? That's not necessarily the case. It does say average. And then it talks about winning the month and winning the year. But ultimately, this is what I want us to remember when we talk about win the day formula. 2 hours, win the day. Can you make phone calls? Can you do note cards? Can you add someone to your database in a day? You don't have to win 24 hours. You don't have to win 12. You don't have to win 8. But for today and today only, if you win 2 hours in the day, you win the day. As far as winning the week, 4 days out of the week, Monday, or not, well, if we're going to say Monday, would be great. Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, can you win those days? Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, can you win 4 days out of 7? And then 3 weeks out of the month, can you do what you're supposed to? And if you win 8 months out of the year, you've won the year. That means vacation time, life, stuff happening, some unexpected quakes happening in your life. Can you win? Yes, the screen is being shared. I just want to, can you all see the screen or not? Uh-oh. Y'all are not telling me that that you cannot see my screen. Oh, okay. Woo. All right. So there we have it. That's how we're going to win the day, win the week, win the month, win the year. Super simple. It's simple. It's not easy. It's simple. It breaks it down. Now, we're going to jump into some of the sales success pointers. We've got 4 chapters, and in these 4 chapters, it's not going to take much time. But what I want us to take away, and the reason this is going to be recorded, or this is being recorded, is because I want to give it to you. We're going to put it in our training library. I want you to go back and digest the information. And if you have questions, go back and get it again. Look at it again, because we want to be prepared to win the month of May. I want you to win Monday, May 2nd with 2 hours. Can you make your phone calls? Can you write your notes? Right? It doesn't matter what the note looks like. It doesn't have to be a Buffini note card. It could be on a letter. It can, if you want to get a piece of paper and fold it in half, put tape on it and a stamp and send it out. Whatever it takes, just let people know that you are thinking about them. All right, so let's see what Brian Tracy has for us in sales success. Chapter 6 is all about analyze your competition. Do you know who your real estate competition is in your marketplace? Don't be as naive as young Neil. I used to say, there is no competition. I'm so good, there is no competition. That was a lie. That is a lie. Now, I don't believe that when we know our value, we have to compete, but there is competition. The competition is, or the competition is, who are the other choices? All of the other choices that someone else could use. So your competition might be the seller or the buyer themselves, who think they don't need a realtor. So my question is, have you analyzed the competition? We talk about that SWOT analysis, strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. I know we did not get into real estate to do SWOT analyses, that we did not want to write business plans, but do you know who your competition is? Do you know if it's a big brand or a boutique? Do you know the one agent, if there is one, who has a stronghold on the marketplace or that area or maybe that building? Let me tell you, I have a client who's looking for a property in South Beach. He wants one stack, the 11 stack in one particular building. There's this guy named Matthew who runs the building, period. Realistically, the only way I believe, well, besides the intervention of God himself, that we're going to get the stack that he wants, he's going to have to work directly with that agent. That's the reality, right? Because the property comes on, the property goes off. The property goes on, the property goes off. Every unit in that building is two-sided by one agent. So now I've had conversations with my client. Hey, here's what we're going to do. If you want this property, I need you to work with him, and then you cover my fee. But do I know who my competition is for different clientele? Yes, you have to know. Do you know who your competition is on the beach versus in your own area neighborhood where you live, right? Because it might be different. You can't just say it's every agent. Do you know what their strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats are? Do you know what your strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats are? As a realtor, as a professional real estate agent, you have to know what those are. And the way we're going to do that is by using a couple of resources. One is the MLS. We want to use the MLS, go in, pull reports, and see where that, who's doing numbers, who's doing business. And so what I'm going to do really quickly, I just want to show you all an example of what I'm talking about, so you can see how you might go through and pull a report. So I have mine saved because I want to know everyone that's doing business in a particular area. And so what I do is I've created, now this is going to be something, it does require work on your part. Remember, so much of what we're going to do is simple, but it's not always easy. So what we're going to look at is a report. I have mine in by my zip codes. So I've turned my hot sheets into zip code so I can know specifically where I want to be, what I'm looking at, right? And so let's go first into my 316 zip code. Now, this is good, it's okay, this is my hot sheet, but the most valuable way to do it is by agent company activity. So my hot sheet is good, but I've created an agent company activity sheet. Now I can come in and I can see who the listing specialist was and the broker. I can see who the selling side is and the co-broke. So if I want to, oops, let me see here. There we go. So if I want to see who's doing numbers, who's doing business on the listing side, I can just come in here. I can see we have Chad Carroll there. I can come in down. I can see Troy, I'm sorry, Joy as well. So this is how I start to know who's doing what in the industry. On the listing side of business, Lori. Now, if I'm curious, let me see if I'm a buyer specialist, let me see who the buyer specialists are that are doing numbers. I come in, okay, I can see Joy, she also two-sided some transactions. I can see that Chad Whitaker, Chris Andrade is here. And this is how we start to see what our competition is, who they are, what they're doing, how they're doing it. And then even on the listing side, and this is important for us, we might want to see how are they doing their business? Are they using showing time or not on the listing side of the business, right? So all of these, like for instance, we see Joy in what she's selling, the areas that she's selling. She is not doing any of these showing assist, which means that you're going to have to call her or text her in order to get the information, right? So this is how we get to start making informed business decisions. I apologize. So let's see here what the instructions are for her listing, and maybe that will be an opportunity, right? So please call Joy or Jonathan for an appointment. Don't walk around the property. So can you find a small entryway for yourself into the marketplace using that by analyzing competition, right? Looking and seeing where they're doing, what they're doing well, what they're not doing so well. Develop competitive advantage. What's your competitive advantage? Why should I, as a buyer, use you? Why should I, as a seller, use you? It can't be because you're cheaper. It can't be because you have integrity, you're honest, that you get results. What's your competitive advantage? What makes you not different, but better than the competition? Can you articulate that for me in less than a minute? Can you tell me why I should hire you? All right, we say the elevator pitch, whatever. Can you articulate to me why I should hire you, why I should work with you over everyone else that I can choose from? What is your area of excellence? All of these are the questions that we must ask ourselves as business owners, as real estate professionals. Developing an effective sales strategy. Do you even have a sales strategy? Do you have a process, a system that you go through that you're going to work or not? If not, why not? So let's see, what is an effective sales strategy? There's 4 pillars. And if you think 4 pillars of selling strategy, and then you hear the 4 pillars of success, maybe it sounds familiar. There is a reason for that. So what are the 4 pillars of the selling strategy? Specialization is going to be 1. Differentiation is 2. Segmentation is 3, and then concentration. So I'll have those, I'll share those with you. But what really makes you better when it comes to your selling strategy? In here, it talks about focus and concentration payoff. Are you focused on a specific clientele, a market, a niche, or not? If you focus and if you concentrate over the long run, it is going to pay off. Remember, the very first one in the 4 pillars of a sales strategy is going to be specialization. What do you specialize in? Specialists get paid especially well, right? The generalist does not get paid as well. Those are questions that we have to ask, and only you can make that business decision that's going to say, yes, it is worthwhile. No, it is not worthwhile. And really, it comes down to how much time, energy, effort, how much mental work are you willing to do on deciding your area of specialization. Develop a reputation is in here. What is your reputation? Let me tell you what your reputation is. Your reputation is what people say about you when you are not in the room. Do you know what's being said about you? And do you like what's being said about you when you're not in the room? If you don't know what's being said about you when you're not around, we've got to figure that out. And then you have to decide, is what is being said about you favorable for your reputation or not? I have a very good idea of what's being said about me when I'm not in the room. Man, I wish Neil was here. Oh, he's always adding value. Have you crafted in your real estate business? Have you crafted a reputation for excellence, for being knowledgeable, for being someone that operates with integrity and is trustworthy, someone who's just a fantastic negotiator, someone who can get deals done? Maybe your reputation is that he or she is just inflappable, meaning that she doesn't get high, she doesn't get low, she's even keeled, right? Just doesn't seem like anything bothers him. So whatever you want your reputation to be, we have to be intentional about crafting that. Prospect like a professional. Prospect like a professional. So finding new people to buy your service is the most important part of the sales process. Finding new people to hire us. Remember, in our industry, every morning, this morning, you know how you woke up? You woke up either unemployed or unemployable. So, I mean, we either woke up without a job or we could easily not have a job if someone were just to send an email, a text message. Maybe they call you and say, yeah, this ain't working out. I'm going to go a different direction. So finding new prospects. And when I say new, maybe it's repeat business, but finding someone who is ready, who's raised their hand and say, hey, I want what you have. And how do we do that? This is the idea of asking, what problem can I solve? What problems do you solve in your business? In real estate, what problem do you solve? I mean, to be frank, your problem is not helping someone buy or sell. What problem are you helping someone solve? Maybe they have a financial constraint. I can't afford this home anymore. So not the problem of selling the home, not the problem of relieving, making sure they have more money. Maybe it's the problem of freedom and peace, right? So if you can clearly articulate what problems can you solve, it is going to be very, very important and beneficial to you and to your business. And then this is where we're going to stop today. Qualify your prospects. Referral Maker does an awesome job of this. However, it requires something of you. You have to pick up the phone, you have to call, you have to send emails, text messages, get face-to-face with people and say, hey, in essence, are you worth me investing my time or not? Because I'm willing to bet, like myself, some of you have people in your database who are never going to buy or sell using you. That's the reality. It doesn't matter how great you are. It doesn't matter if you do it for free. They're not going to use you. So our job is, how do we stop wasting time on them and we start investing time on others, on the ones who really want, those who say, yeah, you are my number one pick. If I hear the word real, I think of you. If I hear Instagram reels or whatever, I think of you even before they say estate. Right? There are going to be some that you can sit there and say, hey, I heard you're looking to buy or sell your home. You know, I'm in real estate. I've been doing it X number of years. They're like, okay, yeah, but I'm going to call ABC Realty, right? And it might be family. So how do we prospect, or how do we qualify our prospects? One, we have to get their attention. Here's something that is asked, right? It says in here, if you are selling residential real estate, a good opening question. Now, this is going to be for someone that you are working with, or not that you have a relationship with. If you are selling residential real estate, a good opening question would be, if you were looking to buy or sell, would I be the agent that you choose to work with? If they say no, guess what? Bye. If you were looking to buy or sell, would I be the agent you choose to work with? And we're going to get into these dialogues in a later training, but I just want us to see what is required of us. And then really when it goes to qualifying prospects, it has a couple of things in here that I want to bring to our attention. One, focus on the prospect, because it's easy in our business, in our industry, to focus on ourselves, focus on our bills, focus on our energy or the lack thereof. But we want to focus on the client, the customer that we are going to be serving. What's their pain point? Why do they need us? Why did they call us? Why was someone willing to refer them to us? What can we do to help them? And then question your way to success. Don't go in with a presentation. What are we going to do? We're going to have a consultation. We're going to ask, where does it hurt? How long has this been going on? Much like a doctor's consultation. You know, what would the ideal result be? In what time frame? What happens if we don't buy by the end of June, or we don't have your property under contract by May 15th? What are the alternatives? What if we don't get this much? What if we do get this? Where do you go? right? We really want to utilize questions and a consultation method instead of a presentation method when we're looking for true sales success. So those are the 4 chapters that I wanted to cover today in sales success. I know it's a lot, especially as I saw Cheryl in the chat, like, what? When it comes to, there are some people, no matter how good you are, no matter how great you are, no matter if you're giving your service away, they are not going to use you. We want to qualify our prospects. We really want to find out what our strengths and weaknesses are. We want to prospect like a professional. That means we're going to have an idea of what it is that we're doing, who we're looking for, know our target audience, know our target market, ask those questions to answer the problems and solve the problems that they have. If we solve more and bigger problems for more and bigger people, the more and bigger our bank accounts become. So whether it is winning the day or sales success, we've got some nuggets for that. So on that, I'm stopping this video.